Hello students, welcome to your fourth assignment, and this would be your last assignment for the week 1 folder unless you are choosing to do the optional honors assignment or going the honors route. This would be your last assignment for week 1. This assignment is a discussion like the previous assignment, which means the other students can see what you post, and you have to have the third assignment done before you can do this assignment. So you must have the week 1 discussion, specific steps and information completed before you do this last assignment. Now again, to enter you click week 1 discussion, replicating and peer review title link, and that's going to bring you into this piece. Now similar to the previous discussion, you're not going to see anything here, so you're going to have to click on create thread in order to see your instructions for part 1. There are 2 parts to this, just like the previous assignment. You'll need to have your monster that you created from the previous assignment. And that's going to be what we use in order to complete part 1. So the first part of this assignment is going to have you writing a procedure. This means you're going to write out steps that someone could follow and use to draw your exact monster. So when we mention the importance of having specific information and specific steps, this is where it's going to come into play. Your steps should allow someone to use each step to make your exact monster. So make sure that when you write this procedure that you're using very specific information. Once you're done writing your procedure for another student to use, you're going to post that in this discussion thread. Now again, similar to the previous assignment that we did, there are other ways that you can submit this. If you hand wrote those instructions, you can scan that and submit a file. You can take a picture of handwritten instructions and submit it as a picture file. If you chose to type your instructions as a Word document, you are welcome to submit that file. And sometimes students like to just simply type in their instructions here in this message box. It's entirely up to you as long as I get the instructions. Similar to the previous post, we do have to include a subject title because of this red asterisk, meaning it is required. You can either put in your steps here in the message box, or if you want to attach a file, go down to this Browse My Computer button, and that'll open your files. Again, you'd click on whatever file it would be that's saved on your personal computer. Click Open, and then you'll see it attach here. And then when you're ready, you would hit this blue Submit button in the bottom right to submit that for grading. So again, remember there are 2 parts to this piece as well. We're back into the thread overview here. And now, since you posted, you should be able to see this, which says Week 1 Discussion, Replicating and Peer Review Part 2. To enter this thread, which gives you instructions for Part 2, you click on this blue link. And that'll bring you into this piece, where you're going to use these instructions to complete the second part and the last part of this assignment. Now the last part of this assignment has you using another student's post or procedure steps to draw their monster. So you're going to have to find a student's post that you want to do, and you cannot choose a post that's already been done. So you have to make sure that when you go into a student's thread, you scroll down. And you don't want to see anything down here because that means it's already been done, okay? So again, choose a student's procedure that hasn't been done by another student, and you're going to use their steps to draw their monster. So you're going to need another piece of paper and writing utensils, or you can use the back of your previous monster. Whatever you want to use, it's entirely up to you if you want to conserve your resources. But anyways, you're going to need to have a piece of paper and writing utensils as well as possibly some colors. The only thing I'm not picky about with this is, let's say someone uses paint and you don't have paint. Don't worry about it. I do want you to try to use some colors though, if you have them, to match these monsters. Now once you're done drawing the monster as good as you are able to, make sure you write your name on your paper. Again, anytime you're using any outside paper utensils, you need to put your handwritten name on your paper before you submit your work. Now, I also want you to include, whether it's written on the paper or it could be typed in a Word document, it's entirely up to you, a brief, respectful critique of the procedure you used. So you drew the monster. Now, how did it go for you? Was it easy? Was it hard? Were there things missing? Were there things not missing? These are the things I'm looking for in a respectful critique. So make sure that you're being respectful. Give good feedback that students could use. If they wanted to edit their procedure, they could. And then on the same file or paper, there is a few questions that I want you to answer. And those are located here for number 3. And you'll notice A, B, and C. There's 3 questions that I want you to answer right here. When you're done drawing your monster, you have your critique done about the monster and procedure, and you answered those 3 questions, then you can post your information. And I want you to post your information as a reply to the student's post. So what do I mean by that? Now, if I scroll up here and I click back on the topic Week 1 discussion, replicating and peer review, it brings me back to my thread overview. So let's say I wanted to look at this student's monster instructions. So I clicked into this and I followed their procedure. I drew my monster, I wrote the critique, and I did those questions. I have everything ready that I need in order to submit my work. Since I did this student's procedure, I'm going to click on this blue reply button, and then I can either type in my information in regards to my critique and my 3 questions, or if I have a file, whether it's you took a picture of your work and your handwritten answers, or you have a picture and let's say a Word document, you can attach those files the same way we've been doing using the Browse My Computer button. So now the trick is with this, let's say I have multiple files. If I click on the Browse My Computer button, and let's say I want to attach my monster I drew, I click on that file, I click open, and it attaches. It won't let me attach anymore here. So a lot of times students will hit the blue submit button and submit that, and then they'll just reply again. Use the Browse My Computer button and submit their critique and the answers to those 3 questions separately. So I could attach a different file, hit that blue submit button again, and now I have both of my pieces of information for that student's work. Okay? Now remember, there are 2 points to this assignment. The first part of the assignment has you writing a procedure for someone else to follow that's specific so they can draw your identical monster. You have to make sure that you post that before you do anything else. The second part of the assignment has you looking at another student's procedure, following that procedure to draw their monster, writing a brief critique, and answering 3 questions. So part 1, write your procedure. Part 2, draw someone else's monster, critique it, answer 3 questions. That's what I'm looking for. So you'll have your own thread post, and then you'll have your replies to the student that you used the procedure for. Then you're done. Everything's done with this. And again, if you're not doing the optional honors assignment for week 1, you are done with week 1 and you can move on to week 2 if it is open. Otherwise, please note the pace chart using this left-hand link on when the next week will open for you. As always, if you have questions, make sure to use that contact your teacher link in the left-hand menu so I can help you with this. Otherwise, feel free to move on.